Beatles family reunion here, back here at the Hyatt Regency. It's always good to know we can make it back, right? A couple of years ago, boy, we really learned just how much we miss getting together and doing all this every year. Everybody had a good year. Everybody's kind of kept the COVID fairy at bay. Let's hope so. We want good health out there for everyone and keep everybody healthy and dancing and enjoying our love for the Beatles. Hey, for those of you I haven't met, my name's Tom Frangione. I'm from the SiriusXM Beatles channel. You guys listen to that? Terrific. We do all kinds of fun programming there all day long, playing the greatest music ever made, which is why you all are here right now, which is fantastic. Mark Lapidus, the chairman of this whole big affair, he'll be joining us shortly. He's running late. I don't know where he is, but he'll be joining us. You guys all know Mark, right? Well, this is going to be an incredible, incredible weekend. We have great guests. Who's looking forward to seeing Patty Boyd? Were any of you, I guess last time we had Patty was the 50th anniversary, the one in New York, right? I think Rosemary's saying yes, it must be right. Okay, so who was there for that one, our big 50th? Wow, wow, that's fantastic. So you all know how much fun she is and how pleasant she is, and she's got a new book that she'll be talking about, and she's going to have some of her fashions going on down there, so that's going to be great. Joey Mullen from Badfinger will be here. I wore my Apple Jam shirt just for that occasion. How about that? So Joey will be joining us. And who else? Terry Sylvester from the Hollies and the Escorts and the Swingin' Blue Jeans. There's a guy who's been around a long time. Two of them will be talking about growing up in Liverpool. So that's going to be fantastic. And, of course, none of this happens without great music, which is going to be on this stage all weekend long. I told you he'd be here. Give it up for Mark Lapidus. Of course, we'll have the big dance concert tonight with everybody's favorite house band, Liverpool, right? And some great bands. I'm sure you've seen them in the program, and you've certainly seen them here at the fest before. The Black Ties will be here. You guys love them? I think they are just great. It must have been what it was like to go see the Beatles like in the Star Club or at the Cavern or something. And Black Rabbit will be joining us this weekend. Who's heard them? Just some of the nicest voices God ever put into some young kids, I'll tell you that. So they'll be with us, and of course the Apple Jam stage up on the 9th floor as you're heading toward the marketplace. There's music non-stop up there all weekend. You'll see the cellophane flowers up there and down here. And as I say, tonight's the big dance concert. Tomorrow night, of course, the big jam with all our special guests, with Joey and Terry Sylvester, and of course Mark Rivera. Mark has graced this stage many, many times, and I think he ranks only second to the guy I'm going to introduce you right now as the guy named Mark with the most appearances on this stage. I think that's him. It's Mark Lapidus. Hey. Mark, come on out.
I think the record's safe.
Yeah, you're covered for now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fest for Beatles Fans 2078, or I forgot, 2023, is it
23-ish.
23-ish.
Yes, 23.
Wow, 49 years. Anyone went to the Commodore Hotel in 74?
First time. There he is, Al
hand.
Sussman. There he is.
Hey,
he
Al.
was there.
Yes.
He was there.
All right, Al. So, it's wonderful to be here.
Certainly, a thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the highlights this weekend is this guy. How many of you get SiriusXM? Everybody.
Bless your hearts.
Everybody. How many of you heard Tom's interview with a guy named Paul?
Yeah.
Tom, what did I tell you after you interviewed Paul? You came back to the office.
Yep.
You played me the whole thing.
And what
did I say?
Mark very presciently said, "This interview is going to win an award for you one day." And I was
right on the spot.
I was flattered, and as Mark has been gracious enough to point out in the Daily Blasts, the New York Festival Radio Awards are being announced in April, and the special has made what's called the shortlist. We're one of the final nominees.
The 5
for that,
finalists.
so.
How's that? You're going to win. I don't get a vote in that for some reason.
You know, so we're very excited, and as I've been telling people, some of you here have come up to me in the hallway and said, "Wow, that must have been something," and I heard it, and it sounded great, and I loved it. I guess I can say it once, and then I don't have to say it the rest of the weekend. That interview was because Paul was just in top form. He was, as I told people, make a list of good adjectives. He checked every box. He was funny, And he was focused, and he was intelligent, and he was forthcoming, and he was generous, and he was everything you could ever want somebody that you're interviewing to be. We do the interviews every week on the Fab Forum, and I can assure you they don't always go that way. He told stories not only about the Tug of War album, which is what we were celebrating its 40th anniversary, but you know, I knew he'd tell stories about John because of the Here Today song. I knew he'd talk about, of course, Ringo, because Ringo's drumming on the album. I knew he'd talk about George Martin because he produced it, and Jeff Emmerich. But he dragged Brian Epstein into the conversation. And I'm sitting there going, well, sure, of course you would, because it makes perfect sense the way you're telling it.
How about George's parents?
There's a story, for those of you who haven't heard it, I'm not going to spoil it. He dragged George's parents into the discussion. Not just George and his parents. And Louise, who was a guest of ours and a friend of ours for many, many years. And somehow it all fit together. And he told us great stories about each and every song on the album. We're going to show that in here tomorrow night after the concert, after Liverpool does their thing all over you. We're going to show it right on that big screen. It's the interview that we did at Sirius, and we've had a video component added to it by a very talented video effects artist who's here somewhere, undoubtedly. Natalie Palumbo, maybe some of you know her. She photographs some of the bands and does video for them. She put together a video presentation to accompany the interview that will knock your eyes out. That's all I can tell you. When I showed it to Mark, he said, well, you know, unfortunately, Tom, we can't show your interview in the video room. I said, why? He says, because this needs to be seen in the big room.
It does.
Those were his exact words. So we're going to show that in here tomorrow night, 12:30, I'm sorry, at midnight, and then Sunday.
We don't know what time the concert is.
After the concert. And then Sunday at 12:30 down in the video room where Steve Shorten shows all the concert stuff. So you'll have two chances to see it and hear it, and I really hope everyone gets a chance to. And even if you heard it on Sirius, you know, where we mixed the songs in with the interview, we used about a little under 40 minutes of the interview in the special. This is going to be the uncut interview. It's just under an hour. So you're going to get to hear like 50% more of Paul. The only thing better than Paul is 50% more of Paul. That's the way I see it.
There you go. Perfect. Okay. So I will let you introduce the authors and have a great time. Keep yourself hydrated.
Yep.
Anyone here for the first time?
First timers?
Look at
that.
Look at all the people. Wow.
Wait a
Usually
minute.
Friday at 5 o'clock, there's like one person in the back. And then
I think this guy counted twice. I think he said it was at the Commodore in '74, too. I don't know what that means. But, you know.
I don't know. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
I was there.
I don't know. But what we're going to do now is we're going to keep.
See you later. Have a great time.
Yep.
Peace and love.
Give it up for Mark.
Thank you. Thanks.
Lapidos. Okay, so I'm going to turn the stage over to a dear friend of mine. And she's going to, you know, she kind of takes care of all the authors and the discussion room and rounds us up some great guests every year. So she's going to introduce you to our guest panelists and our guest authors for the weekend. Please welcome to the stage Susan Ryan. Pick a mic, any mic. Pick a mic, any mic.
Is it on? It's on. Hi.
Is this thing on?
It's on.
Okay,
yeah.
You're good.
Hi.
Welcome. It's good
Hi,
to see
Tom.
you again.
Good to see you, too. It's been a whole year.
It's been a whole year. I can't believe that.
Time flies.
Time flies. So you have, I mean, you need a shoehorn to get in back there.
Well,
you know, it's packed back there. You got quite a roster
We
this
have
year.
a lot of authors this year, but everybody's going to be doing wonderful talks, showing off their wonderful books, and they will be up in the author area near the dealer room.
Right, after you pass the Apple Jam stage on the 9th floor, as you're going toward the marketplace, you'll see all the authors' tables set up. They'll be signing books, talking about books.
Yeah.
And there's so many good new ones out there.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah,
we
so
got a lot of people.
I have to find Madeline. She said she was so kind to send us the Yoko book over at the Apple Jam.
The Yoko book is fantastic.
At the Apple Jam show.
Madeline will be in this first group. I'm bringing the authors up in two groups because there's too many.
Alphabetic by height?
No, just randomly as they were standing backstage.
I see. Okay. First come, first served. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Susan. She's going to bring all your favorite authors up here now.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, we'll see you over the weekend.
All right.
I'll see you guys outside.
Hi, guys. So it's fest time again. Oh, my gosh. I don't know where the year goes. It's insane. But we're back in Jersey City, and I'm very happy to be here and very happy to see so many people in the room. And we're going to have a really great weekend, because it's always a great weekend at the Fest, because we all get to sing the song of our people. So now I'm going to introduce our first group of authors, and I did this, as I said to Tom, randomly as they were standing backstage. I just kind of wrote down names. But I have names written down so I don't forget people. So I'm going to bring you up, and you guys can take seats. There are 6 microphones up here, so you may have to pass microphones around, but we'll make it work. So the first author we're going to bring up here is Piers Hemmingson, author of The Beatles in Canada. Everybody welcome Piers. He's coming, I hope. There he is. I know, I took him by surprise. No, here he is. Next we have Kit O'Toole, who is on several podcasts and author of The Songs We Were Singing and a bunch of other books. You know, Kit is a favorite in Chicago, and she's from Chicago, but she's also a favorite here in New York. Next we have Debbie Greenberg from Liverpool, who once owned the Cavern Club. So Debbie, come on up. Next we have David Jacks, who is the author of a brilliant new biography of Peter Asher. And I can tell you it's fabulous, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it. And next we have Madeline Boccaro, the author of the aforementioned Yoko book, which is also fabulous. All these books are fabulous, let's face it. We all know these books are fabulous. And then we have Patty Gallo-Stenman, who wrote Diary of a Beatlemaniac, and she was fan club president and teenage journalist. And last, but very much not least, on this panel we have Susan Shumsky, author of The Beatles in India, and she's going to be doing a couple of really interesting talks this weekend. So guys, we have limited time. I'm just letting everybody know this. It's going to be short and sweet, but we're going to go down the line. You guys tell us a little bit about your books and where you're going to be all weekend, and if you know when your panel times are. Panel times are listed here in this program, and I should tell you that this year we have a second discussion room. It's called the Tell Me What You See discussion room, and it is next door to the video room. It's a little room off to the side for the smaller groups and podcasts. Please make sure you look at your program. That schedule is listed in a box on the first page, and it will tell you what's happening each day. Also, there will be signboards outside both discussion rooms every day with the schedule written, so if you can't find it in here, look on the signboard, it'll tell you. Okay, now that I've done the business. So, welcome back to New York, Piers. Thank you. Piers has been here many times, yes, and he is going to show us a very special book. How many of you guys have seen Piers's first book, the beautiful red Beatles in Canada book? It's fantastic. And if you think you know the story of the Beatles in North America, think again, because you don't. Tell us a little bit about what you're holding, though.
Okay, so where do I begin? I'm going to talk about last August, because at the Fest in Chicago, I was premiering the draft of the second volume of the Beatles in Canada. So I'm really excited because this weekend, I'm doing it here in New York for the first time. So at 7:45, I think, in the discussion room, mm-hmm, I'll be talking about both books. I will have a special prize, and that special prize relates to something that happened last month, which was the 60th anniversary of the first Beatles single in Canada called Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You. That was February, March of 1963. So I got a special prize for anybody who can answer a skill testing question. And just before that, I'll be with Bruce Spicer in the room across.
Yes, the little room, the Tell Me What You See room.
Tell Me What You See room. And we're talking about his next book, which is, I believe, called Please Please Me Too with the Beatles. Mm-hmm. So a little preview.
Yep.
So hope you can make to either of those. I look forward to chatting with anybody, anytime, all weekend, and thank you, Susan.
And your table is in the foyer outside the dealer room.
I am,
Great.
Yes.
Excellent. Hi, Kit.
Hey, Susan.
So, it's not like I don't know who you are. I know everybody on the stage is actually. I've known all you guys so long, it's like really funny. So tell us what's going on this weekend for you.
All right. Well, I'm going to be pretty busy. Of course, I will have copies of my book, Songs We Were Singing, guided tours through the Beatles' lesser-known tracks. I'm hoping next year to have Volume 2 available. So, but this time I'm going to be doing tomorrow, we're going to be doing an episode that we're going to be recording of Talk More Talk. If those of you who have been viewers of our show, we're going to have all 5, including Ken Womack, who is one of the founders of our show. We're all going to be doing an episode in the Tell Me What You See room at 2 o'clock. Hope you can make it. It's going to be about the year 1973, considered one of the best of the solo years. So hope you can join us. 3:15, I'll be on the historians panel, which Susan is moderating. We're going to be talking about the Revolver box set and also about Revolver itself. So hope you can join us for that. At 6:05 or somewhere
Something like that.
thereabouts, I'm going to be on a panel called Beatles Research in the 21st Century, which will be really interesting. Ken Womack will be on that, as well as many others. And then Sunday, I will be on the media panel, which is at 4:30, I believe.
Yeah.
And all of those, except for the Talk More Talk, will be in the paperback writer room. So going to be really busy. And also want to let you know that I'm going to be selling t-shirts as well as my book. One of them is for another podcast that I've just started co-hosting called Toppermost to the Poppermost. So I hope you can check that out. And also, Ken Womack isn't down here with us. He couldn't get away from his table. So he wanted to have me let you know that he is having a giveaway where you can enter to win a Mal Evans bobblehead.
And it's very cool.
And
it's very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So, so go to his table for more details.
Cool. Thank you, Kit. You guys are good. You're like really doing the, okay. Hi, Debbie. How are ya?
Hi, Susan. I'm fine. Thank
Good.
you.
So Debbie's here all the way from Liverpool, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her book and the things she's doing this weekend. Take it away, Debbie.
Okay. My book, Cavern Club, The Inside Story, covers my 10 years at the Cavern, 5 years as a member and 5 years as an owner. I saw the birth of the Beatles at the Cavern on their debut performance on the 9th of February 1961, and I saw all of their 292 performances at the Cavern after that. So, thank you.
We all wish we were you.
The pleasure was all mine, believe me. And so the Cavern closed. Ray McFall, the owner of the Cavern at the time, declared bankruptcy, and my father went on and bought the Cavern, and I managed it for him for over 5 years, and then we sold it in 1970. And I've got a presentation tomorrow in the video room from 1:45 to 2:45, and I'm in the discussion room with 3 other authors, and that covers from Liverpool to Shea Stadium, and that's tomorrow evening. I'm also up on the marketplace, 9th floor, if you want to come and have a look at the books there, and I'll be happy to sign any books for you. Thank you.
Debbie.